on the Supreme Lord and pray to Him for the peace and happiness of the whole humanity. Hari Om Tat Sat. Om Stapakaya Chadharmasya Sarvadharma Swarupine Stapakaya Chadharmasya Sarvadharma Swarupine Avadara Varishtaya Ramakrishna Te Namaha Asato Ma Satgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma-mritangamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Let us bow down to Sri Ramakrishna, the embodiment of all religions, the supreme incarnation of God. Let us pray to Him to lead us from the unreal to the real, to lead us from the darkness of ignorance to the light of knowledge, to lead us from death to immortality. We have been studying Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, where Sri Ramakrishna has given number of spiritual instructions for the aspirants to realize God, to realize the truth. Today's topic I have chosen: mind, the greatest gift of God. Mind is the greatest gift of God. That means the most precious, priceless mind God has given to all of us. So, it is very important for us to take care of the mind in all respects, so that mind behaves properly and helps us in realizing the truth and experiencing God. This whole human body is really very great instrument that has given us. And this human body is compared to a chariot. The embodied soul, the individual being, is sitting in the chariot. Chariot is drawn by the horses. the senses of the horses, eyes, ear, all the senses are the horses. In order to drive the chariot, you must have control over the horses. That means the horses are controlled by the reins. Mind is the rein. And if the vehicle has to go in a proper way, the charioteer must be very efficient. Very efficient charioteer. Who is that? Intellect is a charioteer. Such a beautiful vehicle God has given us. And He has given this vehicle so that through the help of this vehicle you can come to His abode. That is, you can reach Him. So, the whole picture has been presented to us. You are expected to know things. You must know you are driving the vehicle, and you must know you are driving the vehicle in a proper direction. The way in which the things occur in this world are mysterious. We become confused about our journey. Because on the way there are so many allurements, attractions, diversions, plenty. So, things occur to us which are good and pleasant. Good and pleasant. So you have to decide upon what you want. Do you want good or do you want pleasant? Good means the things which lead you towards knowledge. The path of knowledge is considered good. Whereas the path of pleasures is considered pleasant. The pleasures of the world, they are so pleasant, Pleasant at the outset. But the end result is unpleasant, painful. Whereas when you approach the good, when you approach the path of knowledge, at the outset you may feel little difficulty in trying to overcome the obstacles on your way, but the end result is excellent. You feel immensely peaceful, immensely blissful, which is the nature of God. So, your part is very crucial. In what way you want to conduct yourself in this world. The whole picture I have presented to you, which has been given by the Upanishads. Vedanta means the ultimate reality. That is truth. That is God. The absolute reality. By realizing which you will be totally free from all sufferings and bondage. So, if for some reason, if the rider is little careless about holding the reins properly, the horses are very restive. They just go and dash against something and you'll be in trouble. So you must be very concentrated and alert in holding the reins of the horses. They are not dull horses. They are active. I should say they are super active, hyperactive. Little careless means you are gone. So, holding the reins constantly with alertness is important. So, the charioteer must be smart, must be sharp, must be always focused. That is intellect. Sharpening of intellect is very important. Sharpening of intellect. By applying the technique of reasoning, apply reason. You don't have to simply believe, you don't have to be superstitious. It is absurd to be superstitious. Swami Vivekananda says, the one thing Swami Vivekananda hated was superstition. Never have any superstition. Reason out. It has got its value. Once you have reasoned, then apply it. Follow it vigorously, sincerely, and seriously. So, I am trying to tell you how the mind plays a very important role in every being, in every person. The mind, through the senses and the body, acts or enjoys. It is the mind that is doing all these things, and this feature of the mind is erroneously imputed to Atman as his own inherent nature. Intelligence is superimposed on the mind. When the pure mind is superimposed, when the pure Atman is superimposed on the attributes of the mind, the senses and the body, he gets the name Jiva, the embodied being, the doer of deeds and the enjoyer of their fruits. When the pure Atman is superimposed on the attributes of the mind, the senses and the body, he gets the name Jiva, that is soul. the doer of deeds and the enjoyer of their fruits. It is this false shadow of Atman, the Jiva, that undergoes all troubles of life, such as birth and death, death and birth, birth and death, alternately goes on. So, Sri Ramakrishna says in the Gospel that mind becomes the cause of bondage. Mind also becomes the cause of liberation. So, it depends upon how the mind is directed. Direct the mind towards the world, you become worldly, you lose everything, whatever you have. Turn the mind towards God, whomsoever God you are worshipping, doesn't matter. You get real peace and happiness. You get everything by coming to God. You lose everything by going towards the world. So, you have to give tremendous training to the mind. The mind, if you neglect, you are neglecting yourself and you become hopeless. You really become miserable because mind loses its control. You lose your control over the mind. Mind behaves in an erratic way and you have to be victim of the erratic mind. Why should you be so? It's not that simply, the purpose of I have been born here, I have become youth. Before my youth goes away, I must enjoy the world. Enjoy the world. Be prepared to spoil yourself totally. Show me one person in this world who is happy by enjoying this world. One person, give me. It's a painful experience. Very painful experience. When they come to know they have wasted their time, it is too late for them to realize. So, that is why Sri Ramakrishna always stresses the importance of holy association. That is, reading of holy scriptures which deal with spirituality. It is for spiritual life you have come on into this world, not for this transitory, worldly life. And so, you have to be very careful. And Sri Ramakrishna tells again in the Gospel that people are generally dwelling upon the various types of entertainments in this world. That shows their mind is dwelling on the three lower centers. Sri Ramakrishna explains them very well. We have got 7 centers of consciousness. Everyone has got. The 3 centers are situated from navel downwards. One is at the end of the spinal cord, that is one center. The other one is the center at the place of procreative and evacuative organs. And the third center is at navel. So the mind is vigorously playing and dancing, moving back and forth in terrific speed with high velocity in these three centers. As long as the mind is allowed to dance like this between the tip of the spinal cord and the navel centers, the man is vacillating between pain and pleasure, suffering, suffering, suffering. Pleasure in the form of pain. So, when a person is totally exposed to the world, when the whole mind is drowned, as it were, in the worldly pursuits, it means very definitely that the mind is at the lowest state. These three centers I told you, they are the centers responsible for making the man miserable in the guise of pleasure, in the guise of entertainment, in the guise of enjoyment. You are suffering. You are killing yourself. Then Sri Ramakrishna tells, rise up. If you are able to control the reins properly, fix the mind at the heart center. There is a fourth center, heart. Then you will see the divine light. Divine light, which is so soothing, uplifting, gives you tremendous joy and peace. You feel, you understand the meaning of peace only then, when you are able to see the divine light at the heart center. You are really experiencing happiness and peace. You are astounded by that experience. It will be so fantastic that you feel what this happiness has no comparison, incomparable happiness you feel at the heart center. Then, coming to the center situated at the throat, there is one center. They are all spiritual centers. There, when the mind is established there, when you are able to focus at that center, all your ignorance is gone. You become clear in understanding, and the path of knowledge is clearly seen. Then again rising up, you come to the center between the eyebrows, this center. When the mind is able to dwell on that center, when it is established there, you will be having the experience of the vision of God. And constantly you see Him. You feel overjoyed to see that. You feel immensely joyful and you want to touch him, you want to embrace him. You don't want to give up that opportunity. You just want to touch him, but you can't. Still there is higher center, that is Sahasrara chakra, that is at the brain center. That is the when the mind is made to reach that center, then you will have full realization of the truth. You will be overwhelmed by that realization. So all these things are possible only when you discipline the mind and give training to the mind in a proper way. That's important. So, constant prayer and dwelling upon the spiritual ideas with full concentration, you'll be able to make your mind strong enough so that it is not pulled down anymore. Then you'll be able to have sufficient control, and then only you'll be able to complete your journey, the spiritual journey for which God has given you the gift of human body, the gift of mind. Without mind, you can't do anything. So, such a beautiful mind God has given, but we have spoiled the mind by our own mishandling it, not able to know how to control the mind. In that process, you are just losing the opportunity given to you. So, the point is, you have to wake up yourself. You have to wake up. Everyone has to wake up. That's all. That's what Vedanta says. Don't waste time in simply talking uselessly. What is the use of talking unnecessarily? So much of energy is wasted in talking useless things. On the other hand, dwell upon the spiritual ideas. Try to concentrate. Try to live the life of spirituality. Don't waste your time in criticizing others, in making politics of the religion. It's a sheer waste of time. You are not at all religious. The moment you begin to criticize others, you are not religious at all. You are simply worse than a worldly people. Worldly man is far better. So, religious person means you must be spiritual. Take up the spiritual idea. Live the life, that's all. Don't care about other things. It's not your duty to look into others' affairs. Look into your own self. Correct yourself properly. You try to realize the truth. Then if God permits, then you will be able to show the way to others. What energy do you have to preach Vedanta to people? You must acquire spiritual power, and you must have some spiritual experience to preach. Simply going and talking on the platform, it goes in 1 year, goes out through the other year. It won't stay there. Afterwards, if you ask him, how did you? Oh, the lecture was very good. Can you tell me the gist? I don't know, he told something. Then what is the meaning of telling lecture was very good? He says lecture was very good, and then he tells he told something. No. So that is Sri Ram. Coming to Sri Ramakrishna means you are trying to live practical spiritual life. To be practical in what you think. What you think, so you become. If a person constantly thinks he's worldly, he's hopeless, he's idiot, he's stupid, he becomes stupid. If he constantly thinks, I am pure Atman, I am pure, I am pure, I am part and parcel of God, I am the child of God, I am the son of God. If you constantly think of God, you become God. So, you are the architect of your own being. You are your own architect. The subject which I am speaking next month. You are your own architect. The full responsibility is on you only, nobody else. I shall continue the same topic next Tuesday. Mind, the greatest gift of God. That's the topic. I shall continue the same topic next Tuesday also. Page 692. We are reading chapter 36. The devotees were arranging the master's meal in the room. Sri Ramakrishna asked Narendra to sing. Narendra sang. In dense darkness, O mother, thy formless beauty sparkles. Therefore, the yogis meditate in a dark mountain cave. In the lap of boundless dark, on Mahanirvana's waves, upborne, peace flows serene and inexhaustible, taking the form of the void, in the robe of darkness wrapped. Who art thou, mother, seated alone in the shrine of Samadhi? From the lotus of thy fierce, from the lotus of thy fear-scattering feet, flash thy love's lightnings. Thy spirit face shines forth with laughter terrible and loud. As Narendra sang the line, Who art thou, mother, seated alone in the shrine of Samadhi? Sri Ramakrishna went into deep Samadhi and lost all outer consciousness. After a long time, when he was regaining partial consciousness, the devotees seated him on the carpet and placed a plate of food before him. Still overcome with divine emotion, he began to eat the rice with both hands. He said to Bhavanath, Feed me. Because of his ecstatic mood, he could not use his own right hand. Bhavanath began to feed him. Sri Ramakrishna could eat very little. Ram said to him, Nitya Gopal will eat from your plate. Master, why from my plate? Why? Ram said, why not? Nitya Gopal was also in an ecstatic mood. The master put a morsel or two into his mouth with his own hand. Some devotees from Konnagar arrived by boat. They entered Sri Ramakrishna's room singing kirtan. Afterwards, they went out to take some refreshments. Narottam was in the room. The master said to him and the other devotees, the music of the Konnagar devotees was dull. Music should be so lively as to make everyone dance. One should sing a song like this. See how all Nadia is shaking under the waves of Gauranga's love. And along with it these lines, Behold, the two brothers have come, who weep while chanting Hari's name. The brothers who in return for blows offer to sinners Hari's love. And these two Gauranitai, ye blessed brothers, I have heard how kind you are, and therefore I have come to you. The devotees were taking the prasad. It was a sumptuous feast. Sri Ramakrishna said to him, haven't you invited the Mukherjees? Ask Surendra to feed the musicians. We shall stop here. Any questions to ask? You are welcome. No questions? All right. Chant the name of the Lord and His glory unceasingly, that the mirror of the heart may be wiped clean and quench that mighty forest fire, worldly lust raging furiously within. O name streamed down in moonlight on the lotus heart, opening its cup to knowledge of thyself. O self, drowned deep in the waves of His bliss, tasting His nectar at every step, bathing in His name, that bath for weary souls. Various are thy names, O Lord, in each and every name thy power resides. No times are set, no rites are needful for chanting of thy name. So vast is thy mercy, how huge then is my wretchedness, who find in this empty life and heart no devotion to thy name. O my mind, be humbler than a blade of grass. Be patient and forbearing like a tree. Take no honor to thyself, give honor to all. Chant unceasingly the name of the Lord. O Lord and soul of the universe, mine is no prayer for wealth or retinue, the playthings of lust or the toys of fame. As many times as I may be reborn, grant me, O Lord, a steadfast love for thee. A drowning man in this world's fearful ocean is thy servant, O sweet one. In thy mercy consider him as dust beneath thy feet. Ah, how I long for the day when an instant's separation from thee, O Lord, will be as 1,000 years, when my heart burns away with its desire, and the world without thee is a heartless void. Prostrate at thy feet let me be in unwavering devotion, neither imploring the embrace of thine arms, nor bewailing the withdrawal of thy presence, though it tears my soul asunder. O thou who stillest the hearts of thy devotees, do with me what thou wilt, for thou art my heart's beloved, thou and thou alone. O Lord, lead us from the unreal to the real, lead us from darkness to light, and lead us from death to immortality. May all be free from dangers, may all realize what is good, may all be actuated by noble thoughts, may all rejoice everywhere, may all be happy, may all be free from disease, may all realize what is good, may none be subject to misery. May the wicked become virtuous, may the virtuous attain tranquility, may the tranquil be free from bonds, may the freed make others free. May good betide all people, may the sovereign righteously rule the earth, may all beings ever attain what is good, may the worlds be prosperous and happy, may the clouds pour rain in time, may the earth be blessed with crops, may all countries be freed from calamity, may holy man live without fear. May the Lord, the destroyer of sins, the presiding deity of all sacred works, be satisfied, for he being pleased, the whole universe becomes pleased. He being satisfied, the whole universe feels satisfied.